doing, folks? It's Mitch from Hard Intentions YouTube channel. We also have HARDINTENTIONS.com where we sell T-shirts, hats, some artwork, and some other things I'm working on. So please check out our website. Yeah, I was just sitting out there. I just got out from outside. It's hot as hell. You can see the sweat. The sun's beating me up lately, but that's okay. Kind of made me remember when I first went to prison. When I was in the county jail, guys said, hey, man, you go to San Quentin, you get to prison, especially San Quentin. They're like, there's no reason in the world you shouldn't be able to make money and have a hustle. And I thought that, hustle meant, like a bad thing, like street hustler kind of. I equated hustle with prostitution and creepy shit. And I go, what the fuck do you mean hustle? They go, hustle, man, a hustle, a way to make money. And then they explain different shit, guys making hamburgers in their cell or burritos, or, guys working in the kitchen, got to hustle, guys working in the shoe factory, whatever, different hustles. And I thought, all right, whatever. Cool. I didn't really understand the dynamics of prison, And of course, when I got to prison, I went to the hole. But I tripped out even in the shoe units, man. Like guys had game, guys had hustle. One of the things I used to do in the shoe is I'd buy big blocks of Velveeta cheese, collect bread on a tier, and I scraped the paint off my bunk in a square. I made toilet paper bombs, cuff each end, light them on fire. I made a platform with Copenhagen lids to keep it from burning through. And I used to make 2 grilled cheese for pack cigarettes. And I'd put a chili pepper in there, wrap them in newspaper, and shoot them down the line. The guys that bought them from me. That was my hustle in the hole, for a while. And then I got into art. I'd draw cards and whatnot. Later on, when I got out of the hole, I'd start tattooing, doing art, hobby, and working. But, the thing is, just because you're in prison doesn't mean you don't want shit. And everything you want's in there, pretty much, within reason. So if you want to live somewhat comfortable, you want to party a little bit, you want to eat better than average, you got to have hustle. When I had hobby, I used to make jewelry boxes, wooden toys, clocks, chessboards, whatever. Provided money. Then I was involved with some illegal shit as well. I always had money, for the shit that I wanted. And I always had extra money to give my wife. Once I got married, I had a wife and then a kid, and I had a little money I could send home or bring out to the visiting room, either one. But it was a hustle, it was always a hustle in there. At one point, we ran a 2-for-1 store, and so sodas are 25 cents. So you could get 2 sodas for $1 out of our cell. Same with candy bars, shit like that. That was also a cool little hustle for a while. That was kind of just for fun. But later on, I got into working PIA, wood factory, whatever they had at metal fab sometimes. I'd bust my ass to make 65, 75 bucks a month. If I got overtime, I might crack 100. That's just the way it was. And that was, at that time, that kind of money was okay in there. Maximum canteen draw was 100 bucks. So I could use my hobby money and my nefarious activities money to keep my hobby going and send to the old lady. And then my PIA money, sometimes I'd send a little bit of that home, and sometimes I'd use it for coffee and all the shit that I wanted in there. But, it never failed to just amaze me, man. Like guys would come in there and say, I don't work on the street. And I go, what the fuck do you mean you don't work on the street? And they say, well, I don't work on the street. I go, but you work in here. You work in this fucking kitchen so you could get a little something extra to eat and steal a little food and go get a shot of dope. But you won't work on the street? I mean, what the fuck, It always just blew me away. So now I'm out, and hey, there are guys in prison that had far greater hustle than me. I always just kept things even, like I remember like the last prisons I was at towards the end of my term, the only hobby they had left was art, sell hobby. You could do artwork. They did away with the leather and all that other shit. So, I don't do stuff halfway. I'm a decent artist, and I know a lot about art supplies. So I would just buy the best shit I could get. And so like the last couple of years, man, I was making 50, $60 a month, and you can make one hobby order every quarter, every 3 months. So I would save my money from my pay number. I had coffee, shit like that, but I saved my money and bought art supplies. I'd buy paint, and you're only allowed to buy like 100 or $150. I forgot what it was. It wasn't much. And so, I'd save my money up and make a hobby order every 3 months just so I could have art supplies, because that's my thing. That's what gave me peace of mind. And that's where you see the thing behind me. That's actually a pencil drawing, but it's done on decent paper. I would buy the best paper I could get, the best paint brushes I could get, the best paint, good pencils. It costs money. All that shit costs money. And that's the economy of prison, man. If you want something, if you don't have people out there, you could say, hey, mommy and daddy, send me this, send me that. And then you got to work your ass off and figure out how to get what you want. And so I was sitting in a parking lot today. I went to the store, ran some errands, just got done doing some work outside. I thought, it's the same way out here. I lost my job down in Sacramento last January. And ever since then, I've been hustling a little bit here and there. I had unemployment for a while. I built a shed. So now I have an art studio. It's about done. So that's the deal. I've been hustling the same way I hustled in a joint, only without the illegal, nefarious shit, to make things happen that I want to happen. A youngster came by yesterday to see me. I did some tattoo work on him a while back. And we're sitting in the shed, and he goes, man, you fucking did it. He goes, you've done everything. And I met him like 2.5, 3 years ago. He goes, everything you told me you were going to do. He goes, you've done it, man. You're doing it. And I go, yeah, and he's, he's a clean and sober guy. He just, he's got a job, takes care of his son, all that kind of shit. And I just kind of grinned, because that's the way it is in prison. If you can overcome stuff in prison, you can overcome stuff out here. That's how it is. The odds are against you so deep and so tough in prison that to have things, that's what causes the jealousy. That's what causes guys, like when I was selling tobacco, to go and rat on me. I had like 5 dudes tell on me, guys that were willing to put their name on an informant statement, at least 5, because they didn't get a cigarette, because they're so envious of you doing well, they go and snitch on you. So you can't do well. Not only can you no longer do good, for yourself and some of your friends and maybe your family, you're going to actually be doing bad. That's their intent, Pretty sad, uh, that's how prison is. People are envious and jealous. I was always the guy that said, oh, look at Billy Bob over there. Yeah. I'd walk by, I see you, boy, and I didn't care what race they were, there was a guy from Oakland, this black dude worked in the laundry room in San Quentin last time I was there. And man, I knew that dude had shit going on. And he was kind of older dude, been down as long as I had, been around. I'd be like, hey, I see you, and he'd just smile at me, like recognize that I recognize, But I dig it, I dig seeing guys come up in the world, man. My friend got a new motorcycle here, paid a bunch of money for it, cash. And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. That's cool shit. I love seeing guys come up, do good, especially if it's all legal and above board. And maybe they got some side hustles going on, as long as they're legal and shit. I don't really recommend guys get into illegal activity, because whatever gains you make out here in the world, you're going to lose them. they're just temporary gains, you know. Like they say, you know, you didn't lose your old lady, you just lost your turn. If you get involved with illegal activities out here or in prison nowadays, there's gain to make. You know, I'm sure there's money to be made in illegal shit, but then it gets back to the guys telling on you. Guys are going to see you doing well, and they're going to get envious, and they're going to tell because you didn't kick them down. And trust and believe that's the truth, you know. But when you're doing it right and you're doing it legal, you know, guys like me are going to smile and nod their head and shake your hand, pat you on the back. And guys that are hating on you, they're just going to hate on you because there's not a fucking thing they can do about it. They can't go tell on you, you know, because you're doing it right. You know, so look, life out here is a lot different, you know. You want to live decent, you got to pay your rent. You know, if you have a partner in life, whether it's a wife or girlfriend, whatever your deal is, you know, you're splitting the rent. Maybe you live with a homeboy, then you got water, gas, electric. You know, I took the trash cans out last night for pickup, and I thought, man, you know, even the trash cans, you know, that cost money. Every month you got to pay the trash man. Maybe that's why them gangsters in New York City and New Jersey and all that got involved with the trash business, you know, because there's so much money in trash, you know, you got to pay your trash bill every month. I mean, it takes money to live out here, and to live good, and not really just live super good, just to have your head above water and enjoy your life a little bit. It takes a lot of effort, man. It takes money. And one thing I had to get used to is I would be like, yeah, you know, I make $2,000, you know, and then boom, that money's gone. And, you know, it's for bills and projects and whatnot. And, you know, if you want to drive a car, you got to have insurance. If you want a nice car, then you got decent credit, you're going to have to make payments. You miss your payments, they take your car, you know. It's the same thing out here as it is in there. But, you know, if you were able to live decent in prison on your own terms with very minimal help from people on the streets, there's no excuse why you can't, you know, put forth the energy and figure it out to live good out here without breaking the law, you know. And you know, if guys are breaking the law, I mean, I ain't hating on them. That's just what they're going to do. And you know, they're going to have to learn the hard way, hopefully not, that, you know, the easy way out is most of the time it turns out to be not so easy. You know, when you have to spend 5, 10, 20, 30 years in prison because, you know, you had all your efforts went into some nefarious activities, you know, so you could come up and live the good life on the, you know, on the side without no one knowing what you were doing. Most of the time it comes to bite you in the ass, you know. And in more ways than one, law enforcement might find you and take you down, or, you know, maybe some guys in your hood, or, you know, guys that that see what you're doing, they don't like what you're doing because they don't have a cut. Maybe they'll rat you out. Maybe they'll beat you down. Maybe they'll take your shit. You never know. Maybe they'll sabotage you. You never know where that road could lead. It's a slippery slope, man. And, you know, for me, it's not worth taking that risk. You know, like I said, if you've been to the pen, especially, and you know how to hustle in there and you know how to live good out in there, then there's no reason you can't live good out here. There's no reason you can't figure it out. Especially now, they say, you know, why is there, you know, 1 million vacant jobs when there's a million people on unemployment or some shit like that when they have 800,000 available jobs. So there is work out here. It might not be what you want. But, you know, like I told my friend David when he got out, look, bro, you're not going to find the perfect job. You know, his first few months, he was trying to hunt down the perfect job with his job skills. You know, this is what he did in prison. This is what he wanted to do out here. And, you know, I told him, bro, it's not going to work out like that. You know, you just need to get a job. And that's what he ended up doing. he got a job similar to what I did in Los Angeles. You know, I worked in a job readiness program, picking up trash off the sidewalks and the gutters and dumping trash cans. And so he did something similar to that. And then he got a job working at a grocery store, stocking shelves at night. And now, almost a year later, you know, his parole officer's seen that he's doing well. He's going to discharge him, recommend discharge. And now he has another job lined up that is pretty much what he wants to do. It's going to pay well. It's going to be, he's going to be treated well. And so that perfect job, you know, it's almost what he wants, but it took him a year to get it. You know, it took him 10 and a half months to land that job. And, you know, hats off to him. But see, he had hustle in prison. You know, you don't just drive up to a prison and say, hey, I want that job making $1 an hour. That's a rare job in prison. You know, making 50, 60, 70 cents an hour in prison's rare. It's a hard thing to accomplish. So you don't just drive up and say, I want that. You know, you have to be there. You have to meet people. You're going to start working in the kitchen. You know, you're going to be a tier tender. You're going to be in the yard crew. Then you're going to see some other job. You're going to meet someone who plug you into a job. And then, you know, it takes you a minute. Then you land a decent job. Then you land a decent celly, so on and so forth. It's the same process out here. It's just that, you know, if you don't get on it, you know, right away, as soon as you get out here, you know, and I mean, starting at the bottom, you know, don't be afraid to start at the bottom. You know, I wasn't afraid. You know, I was sweeping the sidewalks and the gutters in Los Angeles downtown. I mean, downtown. I mean, like on 6th and Main is where headquarters was for the place I worked for. It was ugly. I worked in the industrial district, Skid Row. You know, I pulled trash bags out that had 30, 40 needles, just the ones you could see. You had to be super careful. You know, I picked up piles of shit and piss, inside clothing and trash off the streets. Dude, it was ugly. But those people love me. That, you know, they'd be like, hey, you want to work today? You know, because I got a better job working 4 days a week, and then I could work 3 days a week for this job readiness program, but I had to get there early. And then when I moved up here where I live now in Northern California, they were calling me, hey, you want to work today? I had to tell them, hey, I moved out of Los Angeles. I don't live there no more. But I mean, that's a rapport I got with the people who employed me, you know, because I showed up, I worked, I didn't piss and moan, I had a smile on my face. Thank you. Simple shit, you know, it goes a long way, you know. But, you know, now I'm doing what I'm doing, you know, I'm doing the YouTube thing. Of course, you guys are seeing me here, but, you know, I built a shed. I'm going to start knocking off my artwork and hopefully doing some tattoo work. And that's my passion. So it took me, what, 4 years. Let's see. Yeah, 4 years. Wow. It's 4 years this month. I will have been out of prison on the 29th of September. Will be my 4th year out of prison. Man, dude, that means I've been off parole almost a year. That's insane, dude. But it took me this long to get to a point with the support of my family, my friends, to where I'm going to hopefully be able to do the things that I really love to do, and make a little bit of an income from it. You know, it took me that long. So, you know, if you've never been to prison, but you're having a hard way to go, you know, your odds for you making it are actually better than guys who've been to prison. So, you know, you might have to start from the bottom as well, you know, but you can work your way up. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. You know, if I can do it, anyone can. I went to prison at 17 years old. The only job I ever had besides working with my dad on the roofer, was at Black Angus as a dishwasher for a month. You know, all my work experiences in prison, you know, all my social skills I learned in prison, all my coping skills I learned in prison. I'm out here living, man, and I'm living the dream for real. It's no longer a nightmare. So there's no excuse, man. other than your own personal decision. You know, I talked to some of the homeless folks I used to work around. They're like, hey, fuck working. You know, I get to party, get loaded. I don't have the responsibility of rent and bills and you know, insurance and, you know, gas for my car, parking my car. They're riding around on bicycles, living in tents. So, I mean, that's the alternative, you know. I don't care if you got to rent a room, if you got to live at the YMCA, you know, or some kind of homeless shelter, if that's where you're at, you know, or if you got to rent a room from somebody with a chicken shit minimum wage job. Dude, I'm out door dashing right now to make money. I DoorDash a few days a week. It gives me money for shit that I want. We just took a trip down to the Bay Area to see our kids and grandkids. And I was able to gas up the car. It's quite a ways from here, you know, and pay for some of the things that we used on that trip. You know, it ain't much, but every little bit counts, right? So, you know, my message mostly is to guys that've been to prison on this one and guys who are headed down that road. If you want to get off that road, or if you've been to prison and you don't want to go back, you know, focus your energies on your hustle, man. And if some guy's telling you, fuck that, I wouldn't do that. Good. That means that's more room for you, you know. You know, that job that I had, sweeping sidewalks and gutters and dumping trash cans, some guys got out of the pen. They started at the same job and then they became supervisors. They became drivers because they got guys that drive people to their job site. They drive the trucks around and pick up the trash bags. So them guys had permanent jobs. Supervisors are making, you know, 40, 50 grand a year. You know, I was making minimum wage, but if I would have stayed there, you could damn well bet that I would have became a supervisor, you know, and, you know, I would have moved on from there. It's not that fucking hard, guys. All it takes is a little bit of fortitude, a little bit of get up off your ass and do it. And, you know, don't let, you know, Joe Dickhead over there persuade you that you're on the wrong track, because if you're working and you're pulling in a couple bucks, and your mind's focused on your next move, your next job, you know, for a bigger pay number or a side job for a little extra income, then you're on the right track. Don't let no one tell you otherwise, you know. And if the guy tells you, hey, check it out, homeboy or girl or whatever, and he wants to throw you a little something, you know, a little bump, man, to help you out, you know, that's your decision. But I'm telling you, that dude ain't your friend. He's just trying to suck you down that trap that he's caught in. Just remember that. The guy that tells you, hey, fucking good shit, bro. And you go out to dinner with some guy, you know, like we went to Thai food a couple times when I went to some meetings in LA. And my friend's like, hey, I got this. You know, he knew I was working. He knew I was making some money. And I reached for my wallet, had it out, and he's like, I got it. You know, because he knows that I'm scraping my way up. I'm climbing up, and he's already there. You know, so the guys that are really your friends, man, they're gonna give you that nod. They're gonna recognize, man. You might not even know it, but you check their actions out as opposed to the actions of the guy telling you, you know, hey, here's a little bump, a financial bump for you. Check out the actions of each person. You know. And the other guy who's giving you that head nod because you're out there humping, you know, that's gangster shit to me. Getting up in the fucking morning, busting your ass, coming home at night, relaxing, you know, for a paycheck. That's gangster shit to me. So, and don't let no one tell you otherwise, you know. You know, life ain't easy out here, but it ain't so fucking hard you can't do it. I mean, like I said, I'm doing it. I started from the bottom. You know, wherever you're starting from, you can advance and you can move up and you can move forward and you have a decent life. Just don't be afraid to, you know, recognize what you got to do to get there. You know, take your best option and don't let no one stop you. Whatever the fuck it is you're going to do it hard. Thank you. We appreciate our subscribers. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for watching, folks. Visit us at HARDINTENTIONS.com. Whatever you do, remember, do it hard.